morning. What is going on? Man, get up, do some jumping jacks, or drink some coffee, or do both. Something. Get your ears ready. Oh man, that coffee got cold quick. You know, I can actually drink some cold coffee every once. Sometimes I don't like it too cold because I'll drink the whole thing like in 5 seconds. I feel like I'm high as a kite. All that caffeine hit me all at once. What's up, guy?
What's going on, man?
Hey, if you don't stop with your rhetoric, sir.
Hey, man, listen. I'm always going to defend myself. I'm not going to let you just defecate on me in the Marine Corps just because you feel that way.
Man, I'm going to say it one more time. I went to war, sir. Okay? I don't know what you're talking about. No, listen. I'm going to say it again, man. I don't know what you're talking about. Like, you're showing me videos of like people marching. I'm like, bro, I ain't got time to look at people playing military. I didn't play military. I cannot relate to what you are talking about, sir. It is not defecating. Look, first off, in the military, you have to learn how to march. Okay? You have to learn how to march, but eventually you got to go to war. And for people who didn't go to war, I don't understand the idea of making fun of other people march. I can't relate. I don't understand it. I don't get it. I have no idea what the joke. I don't get it.
I'm glad you went to war. I really, truly am. I truly am glad you went to war and you had that opportunity. However,
there's no however, sir. There's no however. I can't relate. I can't relate to what you're talking about. There's no however.
Serious question though. Do you know why the military implemented drill? Like, what's the purpose of drill?
Oh my Lord. You are not going to lecture me on drill and ceremony, sir. It is not going to happen.
I'm asking you a question.
Negative.
Why?
No.
Listen,
here we go. No. Oh, I know you're asking me a question, and I'm going to do you like I do everybody else. Watch this. Hey, get to your point, sir. No, sir. What is your point? What is your point? You don't have no question. What is your point, sir?
No, my question is to know if you know why the military.
No, sir. Listen. No, sir. Negative. We are not going to sit here and start. Do you want me to pull out drill? Let me ask you this: since you're so equipped with your drill and ceremony this morning, do you ever salute with your left hand?
Absolutely not.
See, if you were so well equipped with,
unless you don't have a right arm.
Nah. If you were so well equipped with your drill and ceremony this morning, sir, then you would know that there is a time that you salute with your left hand, and you didn't know the answer, sir.
Well, you know that depends on the branch of service, right?
No, it doesn't.
I will ask you a question. Hold on, let me ask you this question. Is there ever a chance when you're just supposed to be walking around in camouflage uniform among civilians? Right. Right.
Okay, well, hold on a second. Hold on a second. Can you ask me a hard one? Why are you asking me like questions that even civilians know? Okay, listen.
No, because the Army does allow you to wear camis in the civilian world.
Hold on a second. But at first, it was not allowed. That was not something that you were supposed to be walking around amongst civilians. The only reason they started allowing it is because there were so many families that were getting moved to these posts, and the people that were in the military didn't have time to always go home, take all their stuff off, because they didn't have all the stores and stuff inside the post like they do now. They didn't have all that. You had to leave, and they had to start changing some things. But either way, sir, drilling ceremony with your left hand.
You're capping, brother. You're capping because in the Army, hold on. Let me just say this. In the Marine Corps, the only way you can go into any store today, not 15 years ago, today, the only reason you can go into a store with camouflage uniform on is if it's an emergency and you must go in there. However,
you said Army. You said Army, sir.
I know that. I'm telling you what the Marine Corps policy is. And the Army policy is you can go to the mall. I see them all the time. These brothers are in the mall.
No.
Walking around in camouflage uniform.
I said back in the day you weren't able to do that. I made it very clear.
Yeah. But today you are. And it's not about an emergency situation. You're just allowed to walk around in your kids' elementary school with camouflage uniforms on.
Yeah, yes, very true. Yeah. But again, I can't relate. I don't know what you're talking about.
My point is that the policies in the Army and the policies in the Marine Corps are different. So you can't just
Let me tell you my policy. My policy was the whole purpose of having the military was to go to war, and I trained and I went to war. So I'm not really sure what you're discussing. I have no idea what you're talking about. All these little ins and outs, these little weird arguments that you pogues have, I guess. I have no idea. I do not get it. I don't care. I don't understand it. The whole purpose of having the military is to go to war. And if you didn't go to war, not really sure what it was people were doing, period, the end. I don't get it. Not even a little bit. All this arguing about hair and uniform. Man, I had blood on mine. I have no idea what y'all talking about. Okay. Nor do I care. Period, the end. I can't relate.
Well, you should because
no.
Without that side. Sir. Well, hold on. Sir. Without that side, you don't get a military, brother. You gotta have both sides.
Guy. I can't relate. I can't. Y'all go. Get y'all's badges for most shipped equipment in a year. I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
No, that's the Army again. You keep conflating the Army with the Marine Corps.
Okay, so Marines don't ship it. So Marines don't ship equipment.
We don't get badges for that. Y'all get badges for
but do y'all ship equipment? Do y'all ship equipment, sir?
Boot camp and have grenade badges.
Do y'all ship equipment? Do y'all ship equipment, sir?
What's up, children?
Sir,
how y'all doing?
Sir, do y'all ship equipment?
I'm sure there are logistics.
All right, then. Okay, all right. I can't relate. Hey, I can't relate, sir. I can't relate. I can't relate. Can't relate. I don't know. Are you done? Hey, are you done? Did you have your coffee this morning?
I didn't bring it up. You brought it up, sir. You brought it up.
We need Jesse's chocolatos.
Children, can you go to one corner and the other one go to the other corner, please?
No, I refuse. You can't catch me, Jess. I'm going to run from you.
Good luck.
We are going to put you in separate sandboxes for a little bit.
No.
For what?
That's fine. I'm taking my He-Man and all my Ninja Turtles. They're all coming with me.
What's the rest of that song?
No, because you don't ship toys, sir. So you're gonna leave by yourself.
No, Jess, tell Dre to give me my Leonardo back. Give it back and I'll go.
Give it back.
Give it back and I'll go right now.
Sorry, I didn't get the logistics orders for that.
I don't care. Your orders have been given. And I want my He-Man sword. That's not yours.
Ooh, give it back. And G.I. Joe, and tell him to give me back your G.I. Joe.
That's right, all of it. I want all of it back.
Man, guys, it must have been 120 degrees here yesterday with the humidity.
And you were out there baking in the sun.
Well, I was doing some gardening, and then of course, I would throw myself in the pool every time my body got hot.
Wait, I thought you couldn't swim.
Listen, I can handle my pool.
She's like, no. When she swims, bro, when she swims, she's standing in 3.5 foot water.
No, I can go in a pool.
With a life jacket on.
I can do the doggy paddle. I can tread. I can float, but it's just like in an ocean or in a big lake like that, where that's where the It's like the anxiety comes in. I can't do. I can't do it. I start, the anxiety comes and it just overwhelms me because of what happened. So
what happens is you don't like swimming. Oh.
no, I'm going to tell you something. I love the water. I can go out on boats and everything. I go out on boats and I love the water. I just don't, I'm not, I just, I've done, what do they call it? Snorkeling and all that, but I wear a life jacket. I just have to. If I don't have a life jacket on, I won't do it. I can't.
Oh, well.
I mean, so I don't keep my fear doesn't overcome me for me to do certain things. Certain things, yes. Certain things, no. I know what I can and I cannot do. I keep it there.
Well, I'll tell you, all them shark attacks that I've been seeing, man. No, y'all keep playing around in that water.
No, I stay away. Even when I'm going to Sarasota in a week and a half. And I spent and right on the beach, we went to the place on the beach and everything. And there you usually see dolphins. I've never seen sharks in Sarasota. But here and where I live, I'm 5 minutes away from the beach. Literally 5 minutes away from the beach. Here, oh yeah, there's a lot of sharks on the East Coast, the Atlantic Ocean. There is sharks.
Yeah, no, I better not. No, because like I was telling one of my buddies the other day, like what do you do, right? I don't care what skill you claim you have. If this thing is at least, I'm gonna say, I'm guessing. Let me see. That's 1, 2, 3. If it's 2 or 3 feet, you got a real good chance of like not getting eaten up, right? 2 or 3 feet, right? 2 or 3 feet.
Because it's little.
Right. Okay. So watch this. 4 feet, you're gonna start having a problem. 5 feet, this is not 5 feet. This is serious. 6 feet or 7 feet, nah, Bubba. Nah,
well,
we're talking at 6.
I can't swim. I was literally not even at my waist that day. We were at the beach. I was around. I would say a little higher than my knees. We were just starting to go in the water. We were just standing there talking, and everybody's running out of the water. And our friends are up. They're like up, and they're over there, and they're waving to us to come out. But we thought they were waving hi. So I have to admit, we had a couple beers that day. And
oh my Lord, that's it.
And I'm
asking
just saying,
for trouble.
And me and my girlfriend are just saying hi. This was years ago. And I'm saying hi. And then, God is good. Somehow we looked and we could see the fin. The sharks, how they have those fins. And I said, oh, Dalis, we got to get out of here. We ran out of there like 2 bats at a house.
Man, I bet.
And the minute we ran, they literally went right. I mean, they just missed us. Because we were so busy, drinking our beers and just saying hi to everybody like fools.
Man, nah, y'all. See, and that's another thing, man. Y'all, hey, these people messing around in these waters, shark-infested waters, getting drunk. Like, how are you going to fight this thing off?
No, I wasn't drunk.
No. I'm not talking about you. No, I'm not talking about you. I'm saying there are people. Listen, there are people.
They do that. Yes, they do.
Hey, how you cannot fight one of these things off very well soberly, and we're just going to go ahead and get drunk in the water.
Here in Florida, I don't know if you're aware of this, and I think Dre probably knows this. You know how many people die on boating when they go out boating because they get drunk when they're on a boat?
Well,
my girlfriend. Go on,
I'll tell you what. No, you're right, Jesse, about the boating. I was just gonna say, I'll tell you what. If I do got to go out by a shark attack, I hope I am drunk.
Lord have mercy. I hate to agree with you on that one, but that's the best way to go. Happy and with no understanding of what's going on.
That is not a pretty thing, man. But I'll tell you what, no. I'm more scared of the gators and the crocs than I am the sharks.
Yeah, the gators here. I'm very fortunate that where I live, I don't have any canals close enough that I have to worry about the gators. But I have friends of mine that do have homes, in their houses, right behind their house is a canal, and they have to put fences. Most of them put fence, and they have to, because you will literally see the gators. You'll see them. And if you don't, I mean, I had a friend of mine. Listen, I had a friend of mine that a gator was in his pool. In his pool.
Yeah, we used to go swimming in those canals when I was a kid, man. We used to jump off the bridges, the drawbridges, into the water in high school.
I don't do canals because
hey, Unc said to just show the shark your national defense ribbon.
Yeah, that'll work, Unc. Yeah, first of all, who's gonna take it in the water with them when they go swimming? We're gonna forget it.
Jesse, that's not even. It's a jab.
I don't know. It would have been more funny if you said, "Show them your CIB." Oh! Not everybody has one of those. Oh, my bad.
It's like here. What happened?
I thought we were talking
Dre,
about something to everybody.
What happened to Dre with the floodwaters? Normally, most people here in Florida, in our cars, that we carry this device that we just keep. They kind of like Velcro it somewhere where the driver is at. Because it's a device that you break the window, you're able to break the glass to swim out of it, because that's another thing that happens here in Florida that's very common. People die because when they're driving, they go off into the canal and they drown because they can't open the windows.
Yeah. Hey, what's the statistics on people becoming unalive because of gators every year in Florida?
I don't know that, but I know that a lot of people get bit because they're not careful.
I could look it up. I'll tell you what. I know what they do eat a lot is people's animals. Your dogs.
Oh yes,
dogs are gone.
Their cats, their dogs.
Regular victims.
Yeah.
He said regular on a daily basis.
Oh yes, definitely.
Oh yeah.
Really?
Oh yeah.
And it depends where you're at.
If you lived in Florida, Trot, and you let like your dog, like you got that creek back there like that, I would not, like you could not let Trot loose like that, bro, because in those waters
he'd be gone in a week.
Bro, listen, you'll be out there screaming, Trot,
and he'll never come back.
He'll
never come back. Listen, there's a park not far from where I live where a lot of people go boating, and they go jet skiing. It's not even far. I can get there in 10 minutes. It's right before the beach, and everybody goes there. And one Father's Day, we were all there having Father's Day. We were having a big picnic, and when I looked and saw a gator, I just said, "Oh no!" I panicked because there's gators, and the kids, everybody was on the jet skis and everything. I said, "Oh no, not doing it."
Man, I tell you what, man, I let Trot out. If there was gators, man, he'd be out there ministering all them gators. It'd be all saved gators. They wouldn't want to eat dogs anymore. Hey,
so rough. Jesus said,
he ministered them bad boy. They ain't gonna want to eat nothing. Hey, so check it out. So, what's it say? Question, Trot. All right, send it. There better be an honest question, or you're not getting an honest answer. What you got?
I love Unc. Unc, where have you been, brother?
Hey, so Dre, so what do people do? Like if they have a creek like that by their house, like they just keep their dogs like chained up or what?
Yeah, bro, you have to. Well, not chained up. Chained up is bad. That'll make them an easier victim because then they can't run. But what you do is then? You got to just get, like, first of all, you would get a really good fence to make sure that nothing can get in and out. That's number one.
Well, yeah, obviously. Okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
Outside of that, just try not to leave your dog out at nighttime, or, pay attention, make sure that there's no gators coming up the bank or whatever. But it don't even be at the house, bro. It's usually like at a park. Like there's a park in Florida that I used to go to, and you would stand on the edge of this concrete slab, and there was like 15, 20, 30 gators just sitting there, bro. Like a bunch of them bunched up together. And I used to be so freaked out, bro. People used to walk all the way to the edge. I'd be like, heck no, bro. Like, no way. I used to leave like 2 feet between myself and the edge, and I would grab like these little pebbles, and I would just drop them on the gator's head, and they would like As soon as it hits the gator's head, it would just snap and eat it, bro. And I was like, oh my God, imagine if somebody landed on there.
Yeah.
It's over, bro. It's over.
I mean, I used to have them in my backyard. I mean, we had
I went swimming one time and there was one in there. My buddy was like, gator. Man, I jumped on that John boat so quick, boy. You would have thought I was Peter.
We would bring gators on the John boat. And what we do is whenever, they would hiss at you and come toward you. And one time I had shined a light around whenever they brought the gator on the John boat, and there was gator eyes all around me, and I didn't know whether to jump off the boat or to just stay on the boat and hope the guy that was on the boat gigged it right in the top of the head. So it's crazy. We do a lot of crazy stuff out here in Florida.
Oh yeah, the rope swings under I-95 bridge into the canals. We used to go jumping off of that stuff all the time in high school. That was like a regular occasion. But I used to be looking around. I used to wait. I used to let like 3, 4, 5 people go before me and be like, hey, make sure they didn't get ate, because gators ain't going to really put up with too much noise without attacking. So when I saw that they like, okay, I guess you made it. Well, I'll go.
There's a lake in Lakeland that a lot of the homeless people go out to that lake, and I don't know what they do. I don't know if they fish or what they do, but there's just that lake alone has a lot of gator bites. I mean, like murders, taking arms off. One guy got one arm bit off one year and went back out there and got another arm bit off. I'm like, why does he keep going back out there? It's so crazy.
Hey, so both his arms got bit off. How does he salute, Trot?
Hey, he winks really hard with his right eye.
Very good. I'm glad you know the regs. Listen, did you know that it's 40 people a year in the United States get attacked by sharks? A year.
40 a year. Man.
Yeah. So
wow. What is that, like 3 a month almost? 3 to 4 a month? God almighty.
I'm going to tell you right now.
God, that's every week, basically, man.
Oh no, I got it.
I'm gonna write down the verses that Unc wrote down so we can go over them. I'll read them, and then we can go over them.
Well, I don't know if we're gonna go over.
303 people have received major injuries in Florida, and 139 a year. So 303 for gator attacks. A total of 303 people have received major injuries, and 139.
I want to know how many become unalived.
I don't know.
They
usually end up without a leg or an arm. Is usually what ends up happening.
Well, shark attacks, you don't normally end up unalived either. You usually get attacked, but the death rate is actually not that high. It's the same as a gator. It's almost the same as an alligator, except
it's like 1 a year or 2 a year then.
Well, what happens is it's not that it usually doesn't happen when they're in the water. It usually happens because they stand next to the water and they egg them on, and
joggers.
They don't realize that
it'd be joggers. It's usually a jogger. It's usually a lady jogger jogging down on the side of the lake, and she don't see the gator in the grass because it's camouflage. It has this ghillie suit, natural ghillie suit, and it just gets her.
And gators can run fast, believe it or not.
Oh yeah, they're quick.
Oh yeah, they're quick. They can hit like 70 miles an hour almost.
That's what I'm saying. Like you can't go in the water and swim away, and you definitely can't run away. So you're done.
I mean, you can run. You just have to run in a zigzag.
Yeah, that's what they say. But I've never actually tried it, so you should go try it and see how it works, Taylor.
Yeah, hey, matter of fact, make a video of that.
Yeah, hey, try.
Well, I can tell you, one of my friends, she gets tags every year down there, and she usually clears them all out. She usually gets them all.
They're delicious too, man.
Oh yeah.
My daughter's dad does that too. He gets tags, and he in his garage he'll have like gator skins laying out, drying out and stuff. He and his buddies go out and hunt gators, but they have to have tags because if you get caught hunting them, you get in trouble.
Hey, Trot, I got some funny statistics for you. You ready?
Oh, send it.
It says, what is the likelihood of being attacked by a shark, right? But then it says an average of 40 shark attacks in the United States happen each year. Averaging shark attacks fatality is just 1 per year. So 1 death per year, 40 attacks per year, right? That's the average. Okay. Now check this out. Falling out of bed kills 450 people a year.
Yeah. Oh, dude. What is the number again?
400. I did not know this. 450 people get unalived for falling out of their bed a year.
Yeah, bro. Like
what?
First of all, babies play a big number in that. Okay, like newborns, like little babies. So people, instead of putting them in boxes or something, they just let them sleep on a bed. They fall off, or they jump out of their carriage. Yeah, boxes or whatever whatever you put them in.
What kind of country mess is that?
Yeah, but you know what else is very dangerous?
Where they put them in? You put them in a little box or whatever, and so they don't fall off or whatever.
Dogs in a
listen
box.
To this, guys. Listen to
I'm
this.
serious.
You know what's really dangerous is they sleep with their babies and newborn babies, and they don't realize it, and then they end up suffocating them. That's a really high one too.
All right, let me keep going. You ready? I got some more. So deer coddling, calling. How do you say that? COLLIDING. I'm assuming that's like colliding. I'm sorry, it's colliding. I'm so slow. Deer colliding with cars is 440 people a year. So that's crazy.
Okay.
You guys are scared of sharks. What about bees, hornets, and wasps? They unalive 58 people a year. Not one, 58 a year.
Yeah.
Lightning unalives 49 people a year. How about that? So you're more likely to get hit by lightning than you are getting ate by a shark.
Yeah, exactly. Dog. But I tell you, if a lightning, let's just say you were to get struck by lightning and you became unalived, Bubba, you didn't see it coming. But a shark
probably did.
No, you did not, bro. It hit you and you were done. Like, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, but it's the same thing as like swimming in the ocean. You're outside and you see lightning. Like, what are you doing, bro? Like, why are you sitting under the tree?
No. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you can't be aware. I'm saying that if most people that are outside that get struck by lightning, they're not like their how do you say that? Their emotional stability at the moment is not fear, like that lightning bolt at any second is going to hit me. It's not the same as a shark being 5 feet from you thinking, I wonder if I should take a chunk out of that. And then when it decides to, a lot of shark attacks, a lot of them, when people get bit, a lot of them are not aggressive. The shark is just right there, and then before you know it, they just kind of open their mouth and take a bite. And then, if it likes the taste and it starts getting aggressive and it wants, it's just to me, it's not the same at all. I don't want something one bite at a time devouring me, and there ain't much I can do about it. Lightning bolt, if you become unalive by it, you got hit by it. Obviously, it happened in a blink of an eye, and you're done, like a gunshot. I'm pretty sure there's people that got struck by lightning, and I don't know, because the lightning's got to exit somewhere. I wonder if people's feet or knees get blown.
My gardener got hit by lightning. He's a miracle. That man's still alive.
Your elbows, your gonads, your knees,
your arm, your hands.
Yeah, my uncle got hit. But he didn't get hit by lightning. He grabbed onto one of the electrical poles on accident, and electricity shot out of his forearms, he has like these ginormous scars on his forearm. Yeah. Anyways, hold on. Let me finish.
Oh, there's more. There's more.
Dogs unalive 40 people a year. Cows unalive 20 people a year. Snakes unalive 5 people a year. And vending machines unalive 2 people every year.
Oh, okay. Hold on a second. Hold on. You need to find, hold on a second. Let me think. A vending machine.
Yep.
Okay, hold on. People stick their arms. Hold on. Vending machine.
I'm sure they shake them and then they fall over and they land on top.
It has to be.
That's an A1. That's an A1 vending machine. That's an AI. That's an AI.
Wow.
Did you know that the number one place in the world is in Venezuela? Dre, they have 300 days out of the year they have lightning. In that same place, 300 days out of the year they have lightning storms, bad ones. And these people live out in the water. Their houses are in the water. I just saw this. It blew my mind. It's in Venezuela.
I could believe that.
And then now sharks attacks that do unalive a lot of people is in Australia. I think that's the number one in Australia. For
no,
some
I figured.
reason,
I figured they got
high number.
No, I figured they got like choked up or like got their butt kicked by freaking kangaroos or something. Dang.
Yeah, Florida definitely has the most shark attacks, 242. Georgia 5, South Carolina 44, North Carolina 31, Virginia 1, New York 11. Maine has like 18, Texas 8, California 28.
Wait, Maine has 18?
Yeah, exactly. 18. Maine. Bro, it's got to be a river. It's got to be a river.
No, Maine has 20. Sorry, Maine has 20. No, I'm sorry.
No, but I mean, we're starting to get.
Maine has 1 in 2020. I take that back. 1 unalive in 2020. Sorry.
Yeah, so I was gonna say we're just now really starting to get sharks up here. So that was a big shock to me because
that's because the Floridians are starting to taste nasty, so they're going up north.
That's right.
They said our water temperatures have gone up like 3 degrees in the last 15 or 20 years or something.
What? Are you sure? What about global warming? Maybe it should get even warmer.
But
are you sure?
Well, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. There you have it.
That's it. It's over. There you have it. It's done. Maine proved it.
Hey, Truck, what do you think happened to these billionaires on this submarine, man? You have any thoughts on that?
Oh, man. All right. Hey, on purpose, I tried to run away from. As soon as it started, I was like, oh, no, get me away from this topic right now. Like, they're like, oh, okay. So as of right now, they have approximately 2 days left of air, and we have lost contact. And I'm like, more than likely, you may not get any more contact, you know. And then I go a little further on accident and hear like how this thing was made. And I'm like, God, I wish I wouldn't have heard that. I was like, you know what? I'm going to try to stay away from this dumb thing. And so like every 5 hours, it seems like I pick up another piece of something. And this thing, and I know, here we go, everybody. Hey, whoever you are that is intently staring at your microphone with a piece of paper and a red pen, and you're like, oh, I can't wait to quote something that listen, I wasn't there. I don't know everything about this submarine. I don't know, but let me tell you what I do know, or what I did hear from this dude. He made it sound like, and for people that don't understand sarcasm, he made it sound like, right? Not it was, right? He made it sound as though this thing was homemade, bro. Like if this thing was built in his garage. This is how this one guy made it sound. Whether that's true or not, I really don't care. But he made it sound like that this thing was like made in his garage, dude. And so they took all the mathematical equations, how thick something needed to be, how it needed to be shaped and all this. And it was supposed to sustain all this pressure or whatever. And then this is the one part that I wish I didn't hear. The company that is helping them make this like failed it. Apparently it was failed. Like it didn't pass the test, bro. I don't know if that's 100% true, but the guy that was talking about it, he was given names of the businesses that were involved. Like, I don't know why he would be saying that, because it wasn't like his face was blurred out and he was like, you know, he's got one of those voices, you know, he's like, okay, I don't want no one to see my face, but I was there when they were building it and it should not have happened. That's not, dude, his face was there. He was given names of all these companies that were helping trying to build this thing. He gave all the information, and he said that they failed him, that they were told, hey, this thing is not equipped for water. And they went and took that thing apparently a lot of places already, and they were like, oh, man, this thing's good to go. Well, this guy was, and I think he was part of the team, and he stopped being part of the team because he said something's wrong. No, something's wrong here. So, bro, this thing's was not given the A-OK, bro. So these people went down there, you know, and obviously you could tell they're gamers. They've probably been playing around with submarines, like game submarines for like 10 years. They got inside that submarine. They probably thought they were inside their living room playing a game. I don't know. But they obviously were doing some things they weren't supposed to be doing. And I'm hoping, but dude, the depth that they were, I'm just saying, bro, it's like a vacuum explosion, it's that thing imploded, both sides slapped together. And then they show pictures of them, like apparently they found the pieces of it or something. And I'm like, man, why in the world does this thing not look like it's a smash can? I don't know, man. I don't know.
I think it's all a conspiracy theory. I think it's Machiavelli, bro. They faked their death.
Oh, snap, Machiavelli. Well, let me just say this. They pulled some of this wreckage up, and you see, like, pieces of, like, plastic or something, and apparently one part's, like, pointy in the front and all this, and it's got, like, this, like, eggshell, like, material around it. And there it is, pieces of it. But there's another piece they're pulling out, and it's still kind of round. Like, so how did that part, I'm guessing maybe if this thing was 2 or 3 different sections, I don't know. So maybe the main section, turned into a can, and the other 2, there was no more force to make the other 2 parts or other one part smash. Maybe that's why it was still round. I don't know, but apparently they said this thing had to be bolted together. So if it had to be bolted together, then it's at least 2 parts for sure. So that means the main part could have, like, let's just say as soon as it, like, caved in, the other part didn't have enough time to cave in. Maybe the seal was broke, so it wasn't as, I don't know. It was just weird that they pulled a part out, and, bro, it was still kind of round. I was like, okay, I mean, I don't know, bro. First off, if that thing smashed together like that, bro, where did everything go, bro? I mean, I'm going to say it went, I don't know, man. It went out through some of the cracks very fast. Okay. I mean,
Who in their right mind gets in this thing? Like, you're a billionaire and you would think you have some kind of intelligence. Like, I don't know. I don't think they were ever in there, bro.
Well, let me just say this, bro. If they were in there, the reason they went in there, more than likely, is because they were billionaires, right? So it's like taking a free trip to the moon. Because I have money, I get to go to the moon. Right? I'm just using that as an example. So it's the same thing. I got all this money, and I get to pay to go to the bottom of the sea. And it's like, bro, like, are you sure you want to go in that thing? I don't know, man. I don't know. But, hey, it's just like rides on, like at parks, bro, right? Like amusement parks, some of those things go berserk, man. You see people flying off some of these rides. You're like, man, but that boy ain't coming back wherever he just went. He just flew off this thing. I don't know where he went, I think one time it was in Florida, and he probably landed over there by the Gators, Dude flew off like 200 meters off that bad boy. Like he got shot out of a rocket.
So there's a video of a guy that talks about how they put all the attention on this submarine. Meanwhile, they distracted the U.S. from like laws that were being passed and like the 47 million emails that were deleted from Epstein's emails and, how they tried to impeach Biden, like all the things that happened in Capitol Hill that nobody paid any attention to because everybody was talking about this this thing. Like apparently, like
All right.
the Pentagon fat fingered $6 billion to Ukraine on accident. Like,
all right. Hey, matter of fact, let's go over that real quick. Just real quick. I heard that, right? I heard that, this whole thing was a hoax. It was just to get everybody's mind off all this stuff. Okay, let's think about that for a second. How was everybody's mind already on it to begin with?
On what? I'm sorry.
On all these other things. The things that they're claiming we were being distracted from. They're saying that while everybody was paying attention to the submarine, they weren't paying attention to all this other stuff. First off, what do you mean? What are they trying to say? How was everybody not paying attention? When you understand what I'm asking, you're going to laugh about it. They act like that there's like this huge screen. So let's say you go to a football stadium, right? And I'll use the Cowboys stadium. They have, I don't know, 100-inch, 500-inch, whatever it is, this huge TV in the center of the stadium. And then below you, excuse me, below you is a football game going on, right? You with me?
Obviously.
Okay. So if there's a football game going on below and there's a TV with something happening, see, I can understand if something was showing on the TV screen, but you're being distracted by the football game, but yet you have a choice to look up or down. Show me, we'll call the football game, we'll call that the submarine. So the submarine is being shown to you, but show me how everybody has an option to look up at the TV screen. It's a lie.
Well, the thing is,
it's
like,
a lie.
The thing
Nobody's
is, like,
being, hold on, but listen, but that's what a distraction is. A distraction is it's the TV's right there in front of your face, but something is distracting you away from it. But everybody don't have knowledge of all these other things going on, and they're like, today's news. A Marine, no, it's not. They're not distracting you. How are they distracting you? People don't even know about all these other things that they're talking about. So,
but that's the whole point. Is like they won't. They'll throw like this. Like, okay, let's go back to your analogy, even though I don't think it's necessarily a good one. But let's go back to the analogy of it's more like the Capitol Hill stuff, the emails being deleted, everything else that happened, right? The fat finger $6 billion, the whole Biden thing, all these things that went on that week, right?
Okay.
Is the football game. And then all of a sudden you're watching the football game, but then somebody flashes boobies on the big screen. Everybody wakes up like, what is that? And then somebody just scored a touchdown. You're like, how did it happen? I don't know. We didn't see it. We missed it. And then it's over. Okay,
so with my perfect analogy, that I'm using here, again, I believe that the other side is the conspiracy theorist people are pushing something themselves, because it doesn't make any sense at all to say that how am I trying to I can't explain what I'm trying to say. Like, so they go, guys, we were being distracted. Now watch this. So let's say you're talking to 100 people and they're like, being distracted from what? And you tell them, oh, well, we're being distracted by this. Where is the proof that someone is distracted is what I'm saying. Where's the proof? You don't just say the whole world's distracted. Where's the proof they were distracted? Well, because saying that something was showing on the news?
They changed the narrative on purpose. So
explain yourself better. What do you mean they changed the narrative on purpose? What do you mean?
So here's an example, right? An example of all this. When when 45 was being impeached, right?
Okay.
I believe it was around that time that they were talking about the FBI and all that stuff. Oh shoot, I shouldn't have said that. But anyways, when they were talking about all that stuff in his crib and they did all this distraction towards 45, while in the meantime somehow CV-19 just went away, and they stopped talking about it.
Okay. What do you mean? Hold on. Listen to my question. Listen to my question. What do you mean they distracted? You're not explaining that. What do you mean by that?
Bro, you need the explanation for distraction?
No. I didn't say I need the definition. I didn't say I need a definition of what distraction means. I used them at war. I know what distraction is, Jess.
Well, they make you look this way.
Hold on. Here we go. Hold on, Jess. Jess, what do you mean?
Something over here.
Jess.
I'm not going to say. Hold on, Charlie. I'm going to say. Look, so the attention of the typical regular mainstream media was CV-19 every
right there. Okay, hold on.
Day.
Stop. Right. Whoa. Stop. Right there. That's what I'm getting at. So what you're saying is they on purpose are putting something on the news other than these other things, right? We're talking about the news now. We're talking about the media, right?
Right.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay. So watch. Now pay attention to the logic of this. Watch this. I don't know why it took so long to get here. Look. First off, not everybody watches the news. Number one. Okay. Number two, the fact that people think that everybody watches the news is a fallacy already, because a lot of people don't even care. So when we say that they're distracting you, what you need to be saying is they're on purpose not putting these things on the news. That's what you need to tell people. Hey, they're not putting it on the news. So what you're saying is they started putting the wreckage or whatever of this submarine. They started putting that on the news. This is what I have to say. Whoever you're talking to, they're watching the wrong news, because the news that I watch, they hardly ever talked about that stupid submarine. You know what they did talk about? Everything else. So the only people who are distracted are the ones that are watching the wrong news. So let me say this. If you only have one news network, you are doing this all wrong. You should have several that you're watching. You should not just be watching one or two. If you think you're going home and watching your what do you call it? Your news that's like for your town or city or whatever. That is not how you watch news. You need to watch about.
So what do you watch? Fox News 1, Fox News 2, Fox News 3. Those are your three. What do you watch?
OAN.
I watch. I'm not kidding, Dre. I just told you. I watch several. I almost watch all of them. So what I do is from one to another, right? I try to get on there where I can hear it. Like if I'm mowing the grass, Bubba, it takes me an hour and a half to 2 hours to mow the grass. So that is my perfect time to kind of go through the channels on the news networks and kind of hear
I do a jury in different countries also. You don't just want to watch the news from here.
Okay, so all right, so that's what I'm saying. So the people, let me tell you, the people who are being distracted are the ones that don't watch multiple media networks. I was never distracted. I saw all this stuff being talked about. I didn't get caught. So what I'm saying is I was never distracted. So if I was never distracted, there's other people that weren't distracted. So what you do is you could tell yourself, okay, which media network were talking like 100% about the submarine. Well, whoever those were, and I know two of them, three actually off the top of my head. Now you have to ask yourself, why do you even watch that network? You can watch it a couple of minutes here and there, but why in the world are you focused on these type of networks that aren't talking about everything? And so if it's true that they're trying to distract people from like these other things, then that means the news network that you're watching, listening to, whatever, on purpose, they're not sharing everything. So that's already kind of weird, you know.
So Kit Kat just made a good point. She said BlackRock owns 99.9% of all news outlets, and they all basically spew the same thing.
Well, if that was true, they do own a lot of them, but the 99 ones that she's talking about, I'm not going to name which ones that those are, but there's 2 of them that I watch and they don't own them 2. So yeah, they may own 90%. Why would you watch the news after? I mean, really? Well, either way, you know, let me say this. So Kit said, why would you even watch the news? Well, first off, if people are watching the news to learn something, then you're watching the news as a fool. So she said, why would you watch the news after? And she's talking about the whole jab thing and all that. I don't watch the news because I trust everything that they're saying. Right. So like if you go watch the news because you trust everything that you're saying, you're a fool from the get go. So there's people that are like, I'm not watching the news no more. OK, so you just realized at age 25, 35, 40, whatever, whoever these people are, you just learned from that experience that they don't tell the truth. I knew that when I was 8. I don't watch the news to get truth. I watch news because every once in a while there is something true on there. Every once in a while, you know. But of course, there's going to be a lot of things on there that aren't true. I don't know if you've seen them, but several networks, you can every one of them, they read from a lot of them, not all of them. They read from the same script. They say the exact same thing, bro, word for word. That part is not a lie. So because majority of them are owned by the same people, yes, they all push the same agenda 100%. Well, I'm not saying all, I'm saying the big company that owns all them. All those, yes. But there are many of them that aren't affiliated with them at all. Not even a little bit. And a lot of the people that work for those companies, they get taken off the air and all these other things. So what?
I think we need to go back to the Bible. Folks' blood pressure going up.
Yeah.
Well, and I'm like you, Trotter. I don't necessarily look at it as they're distracting us. I look at it as they're potential, like purposely not giving us the truth of what is actually going on, like all these major issues. Because again, I think if they did bring to light the important things that are going on, or the backdoor stuff, that we'd all, more than likely, more people would become unified in a certain viewpoint, and then start using their votes in a better way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I know, and I'll say this. Yeah, and I'll say this. I think, hey, is Unc still in here? I don't know. I think he had. I'm going to say something based on what you just said. Bro, Tiger Woods is in the house. And I'm just saying that because his photo looks like Tiger Woods, so nobody get excited. But no, I know. But let me say this. And we'll be done. But come on. At the same time, we got to use our heads too, right? They're like, oh, they were trying to distract us by that. Really? Okay, well, they're talking about it. They're like, yeah, but at the time that the submarine thing was happening, they weren't talking about it. Yeah, they were. They just allowed this thing to air because it was like, quote unquote, bring more ratings, right? Because it's something like that is happening close to home and all this other stuff. And then that dies off. And then all of a sudden it's like, well, wait a minute. So what's been happening for the past week? Well, what's been happening for the past week is you still haven't learned that you need to have multiple news networks telling you information. That's what happened. So, instead of blaming the news networks, kind of need to point the finger at ourselves and say, hey, I have options. And all these things that people are saying that they weren't kept away from me. I saw it. All the little things, they were mentioning it. It's the person that's distracted. You distracted yourself by watching a news network that only wanted to talk about the submarine. So, if it was trying to be hidden from us, it would have never been brought up.
Well, back to Bible, I sent Dre a video this morning how they were comparing the parallels between like the life, history repeating itself and stuff, but the life of Jehu and the life of Trump. You know how a lot of people think that Trump is the Antichrist, but at the same time, yeah, I laugh at that too. But like they said, when Jehu stood up, the temple of Baal fell, and talking about how in that type of religion, Baal, that the abortions and things like that was like what they, those type of sacrifices. And, how when Donald Trump stood up, he's one of the few, that had that much power that were going against it. But I thought it was a good little video.
Well, I'll say this, come on. Every time a new president gets in there, the other side calls him an antichrist.
Oh, yeah.
Obama became president, and they were like, look, Jesus said, I saw him from lightning fell from the sky. And they go,
Barack.
They're like, Barack Obama means lightning from the sky. Oh, my God, he's the antichrist. I mean, oh, my Lord. Before you know it, in about 20 years, there's going to be another person become president, and they're going to say, look behind the $10 bill. If you fold it in the shape of an octagon and pour milk on it and light it on fire, it'll show the name of this president. He's the Antichrist. I mean, I'm like, oh, my Lord. Jeez, man. Like, get off the gas. All right, so let's see. Hey, Tops the Matthew 8 back in there. He's like, okay, can we please talk about Matthew? Which one's Matthew 8? Is that a healing of a, let me see, possessed person or something? I don't know. Let me see. Oh, shoot. Almost broke that. I think Matthew 8 is a possession. What does it say? Luke 8? I think Luke 8 is like Mark 4, right? Hold on. You're just saying stuff, I'm not even confirming. Let's see.
Yeah, it's the possession of the men.
Okay, yeah. But Luke 8 is Mark 4, right? Let me see. Luke 8.
Luke 8 is Mark 4.
No?
I don't know.
Oh, hold on.
You got me on that one.
Okay, let me see. Luke 8. Yeah, Luke 8's the parable of the sower. Mark 4. Yeah, okay. All right. So let's see. Both seem similar, but it has accounts of one man and two men. Okay. Let's see. They both have similar accounts. Are you sure you're giving me the right? Okay, let's see. Luke 8. Oh, Luke 8:26. I'm sorry. Luke 8:26. Let's see. Yeah, 26. All right. Yeah. Okay, so what did he say again? The one and the two possessed men. Okay, let's see. Matthew 8 has two men. Matthew 8. Okay, what about it? One has two. One has one. What's? I don't like to try to read people's minds. I understand that one will have two, one will have one. But what are you asking about it? Of course, I can assume, but I'd rather not.
The question is, did the Bible make a mistake? Is
that what he's asking? I used to think it was the same story. Okay. All right.
His next question is going to be, is Jesus God?
Yeah. Yeah. Is Jesus God?
How could Jesus be God and pray to the other God?
Yeah.
Do you have 3 gods?
Yeah. Do you have 3 gods? And it's funny. Yeah. The Islamic believers, man, they'll say things like, "Well, there's 3 gods. There's 3." And I said, "Why are you saying there's 3?" "Well, because this. I said, "Okay, bro, back up, bro." I said, "You know that Christians claim that they have God living on the inside of them. You do know that, right?" "Yeah." "Okay, so then there's millions of gods." It drives them nuts. I'm like, brother, there's millions. Why are you limiting God to just 3 then? Based on your own logic, you think it's ridiculous that there are quote unquote 3 gods. Well, first off, every Christian has God living on the inside of them. Every one of them. So then there's millions of gods then. I mean, just to like what they're trying to do doesn't even make sense. They're trying to argue against these 3 gods. If you're going to make fun of Christianity, do it right. There's millions of gods then. And by the way that they're reading the scriptures, by the way they understand using man's understanding. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not understanding. Hey, did y'all get a question from Unc, or is he? I don't see anything that's like.
I don't know, but I had started screen recorded, and I'm gonna delete it because there's no good information on it.
Yeah, sure, that was cut and dry. I wasn't sure if it was cut and dry. Okay, let me see. Let me get to.
He said he just wasn't sure if it was the same account or not. That was his question.
Yeah, I'll point out one thing on these 2. Let me go to Matthew 8 first. Let me see. All right. Oh, why is my Bible? I feel like they're stuck together. Alrighty. Well, in the meantime, y'all can think of something else to discuss.
We still got Joshua 7, bro.
Okay, we can talk about that next then. Come on now. Here we go.
Your I don't even know how to pronounce that stuff. What is right down there, Trot? Since you're the smart one.
Hold on, let me read real quick. I'm reading, trying to find. There's a word that's. Let me see. Yeah, it's the. Yeah, I'm right. It's the Gardenes word.
Yep.
Gadarenes.
Yeah.
Gadarenes and Gerasenes.
Yeah, I'm trying to see. Yeah. Yeah, I think I remember like going over this a long time ago, and I think the confusion was that word, like the country that they were in, right? But I think what we can do real quick is we can look up the Greek word, because I remember it being the same, But people forget that, I mean, look, the people that are writing this down, they're trying to be as genuine as they can. So if one person said, you know, there were two, and another person says that there were one, are they trying to, you know, people's perspective can be different. People's perspective can be different. Someone can just be a person that like paraphrases. Another person can be someone that's very analytical. So if this was me and Dre would have said, oh, yeah, there was a demon-possessed man. I would have said, no, bro, there was two demon-possessed men. One had sandals on, the other didn't. One had long hair, one had short hair. One was talking about this, the other one was talking. Everybody's like, bro, nobody cares about that. There was a demon-possessed there, man, and he was healed. Like, so there are people that are just more analytical than others. That's why all the four, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John, they're important because we can use them to add different details into some of the other stories. Now, I do understand a lot of people don't like that, but I mean, it is what it is. But like one of them, hey, Flip, do you got it pulled up right there?
No, I'm at the park right now.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Let me do it. Let's see. Well, yeah, because it's GERA, right? Oh, man. All right, let me look up the first one. We'll just confirm it real quick. And it is, we'll say Matthew 8:28. I got to use my paper Bible. All right, Matthew 8:28. Yeah. All right. So this one is the Gerg. Right. This one says Gerga. Let's see. Pass by. Yeah, that's the GERG. And then Luke 8. Let's see. $26. Yeah, Garderins. All right, so what we'll do is Gergesens. I mean, y'all could talk about something while I'm doing this. Something. Or not.
All right, Jesse. So is God one or is God three?
Oh, my Lord, have mercy.
All right, so
Jesse, is Jesus the Father?
Going along with the pre-trib rapture theory.
Oh, yeah, let's talk about it. Some people say there's no rapture at all.
Well, some say there's many raptures.
Oh, I heard a kid the other day say there was just he said there was 3 raptures, bro. One was for the rib. I said, who's the rib? He said the rib was the ones that were the holiest one were going. Those were the rib.
That's the
And
Catholic.
then the bride is later. And then there's another rapture. And I was like, what? Wow. Okay. Just how God has a Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost, there's 3 raptures. I was like, wow, okay.
But
Oh.
these 3 are one.
Right.
These 3 are one.
This is not the rapture you seek after.
The rapture trifecta.
Get Artemis.
If you ain't first, you're last.
That's
Shake
right.
and bake.
Shake and bake.
Right. So, anyways, yeah, I heard some crazy stories this past week, no doubt.
Hey, what about that dude I sent you the other night? The dude looked like he had some mental issues going on. Remember that video? You said, "Man, what was that?"
Oh,
I seen him again. I think so.
Yeah, he was like talking. He was like, "Yes, Jesus is coming." Like, what is wrong with this guy, man?
But then he slows it down. I'm like, oh, I know what's going on. I think you idolize Stephen Furtick.
That's what he said?
No, that's what I got.
Oh, I don't even think Stephen Furtick act like that, man. Like, that's wild.
Okay. Yeah, 1622. Oh, y'all go ahead, man.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on. What are we doing?
What are we looking at? Matthew, you said?
Girgashite. I'm just doing some studying real quick because I remember the place being the same place, but people point out differences, and I'm pretty sure this is the one. But I'm going over it again. It's been a long time. It's probably been 3-4 years since I was discussed the fact that is this the same account or not. But there's a few things that's in the Bible. I just don't remember which one they are, and they sound like they're different and they're the same. There's multiple of them, and I can't remember if this is which one this one is. But I'm gonna look at it right now.
That's
Russell,
Matthew 8.
I'm with you. I'm lost myself, Russell. I don't know what the heck is going on this morning.
Well, I'm almost done. Y'all just discuss something. I don't care what it is. Just give me a minute. I'm almost done.
Jesse, the question is the Father Jesus on earth?
All right.
Oh, you don't like this conversation now, Jesse? You gonna act like you don't have this conversation every day, Jesse? Really? Anyways, Mac, what do you think about the submarine, man? Do you think that was a real thing, or you think it was a hoax?
Well, it was wild that there was some conspiracies floating around with it.
Excuse me. I just heard my name. I just put my new earplugs in. I was inside the house and the phone was outside. What's going on?
Is Jesus and the Father the same on earth?
On earth? Jesus.
Yeah, was the Father Jesus on earth?
Jesus is God, and if God is the Father, and the Father and God are titles, then God is God. Jesus is God. What's the big difference?
No. That's not what my question is. My question is, was the Father Jesus on earth?
Was the Father Jesus on earth? The divinity
not God, but
of
the
Father. The divinity of, well, what do you mean not God, but the Father? You have 2 gods?
No, that's how people separate it.
No, I'm not going into this conversation. You got 2 gods. No, I'm not going there. No. No, ain't doing it. I ain't doing it when people say that. How can you separate the Father from God and God from the Father? It's the same person. I mean, it's the same God. There is no separation. They're just titles. So if God is the Father and the Father is God, and it's the same God, they're just names. Because the Catholic Church decided to say that I can't say the Father. I can't say the Father. Guess what? I'm not Catholic. Yeah, Jesus is the Father. I'm not Catholic. Isaiah said he's the everlasting Father. That's who he was going to come. The Prince of Peace, blah, 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 and gave him a lot of names. I'm not Catholic. I didn't sign the creed. Yes, Jesus is God.
Malachi,
he's the Father. He's everything. And Malachi even said something beautiful about him being our Father. So I don't know. Figure it out.
He says, "See, I am going to send my messenger, and he will clear the way before me." Then the Lord spake, and then the Lord you seek will suddenly come to his temple, the messenger of the covenant you desire. See, he is coming, says the Lord of hosts. So who's this talking, right? That's
Talking
God
about
talking.
him, bro. One God.
And he's talking about
Hear, O Israel, the Lord
messenger.
thy God is one God. Oh, well, then if you say the messenger and you're saying that
Jesse,
God sent us
Jesse, why you getting so
different,
hyped, Jesse?
oh, because I do.
Relax. You getting
Listen,
emotional. Relax.
I do.
What are y'all talking about, man? I just got back over here.
Listen, if you say that God sent a messenger, that God did not send himself, that it wasn't God who paid your redemption, then you're saying that the God of the Old Testament is lying, because God is Jesus. You can't separate that. It doesn't make any sense. When people say, oh, he sent a messenger, he sent his son. Okay, so do you literally think God created a separate son? So a son paid the price for you, for your redemption.
Well, what I'm saying
and not God. And not God.
I don't.
All right, hold on. Hey, hold on a second. Okay. All right. Jess said what she said. Mac, you got 10 seconds.
I was just saying the messenger there in Malachi 3, I look at that as John the Baptist.
Okay, the messenger was the one who cleared the way in the wilderness. I'll agree with you on that one. I'm glad you said that.
Okay, we'll come back to that. Okay, so like I said, hey, Unc, just so you know, bro, we don't mind talking about
Stop
whatever,
laughing,
bro.
Dre. Stop laughing, Dre.
Nah, because I saw something where Unc said we can circle back. No, bro, it's no big deal. We don't mind going over certain things. You know, I've never met anybody that has the Bible memorized. I haven't. I'm not saying that there's not people that do, because I know that a lot of them work at carnivals and they will prove to you they got the whole thing memorized. But I'm saying someone who has it memorized with the heart and intentions.
Carnivals.
Huh? What?
I said, really? They work at carnival?
Yeah, bro. Hey, have you never seen those people?
No.
Oh, yeah, bro. They work at you know those people that say, step right up, I will guess your weight within 2 pounds. Step right up. Hey, you hefty, come here. Step on this scale. Let me see. You look like you're approximately 324 pounds. Get on the weight. He gets on there. He's 322 pounds. But because he's off by 2 pounds in any direction, you don't get a prize. Get out of here. I need someone that can get a prize.
People with photogenic memories. I knew someone with
well, anyway, the point is, hey, real quick, Jess, let me finish my point. No, listen, the point is there are people, they're just like them at carnivals. And they're like, and it has a big sign. They're like, come here. Any Bible. Hey, and not only that, they'll read it in any translation. They'll say, it'll have all the translations there. Be 5 or 6 translations, and they say, okay, pick a translation, and you're like, okay, that translation. All right, you know, what address? And they'll give the address, and this person will verbatim say it to them out loud. The entire thing.
Photogenic memories. People can do that. There's people that can do that.
Well, no, of course. The point I'm saying, though, is I never met anyone that has the Bible memorized with a contrite heart and utilizes it to preach the gospel. Me, I haven't met someone.
Well, guess what? There was a man in my church when I was growing up, Trot. He was a simple man, and most people didn't even think he was normal. But man, did he have the Word of God memorized, and did he love the Lord?
Well, I'm sure he had the black letters on the white page memorized, but I've never met anyone that had the Word memorized. But let me say this.
That's just the law keeper in
listen,
him.
I just told you I did, man, and you're telling me
what?
I met him.
I said you met a man that had the black letters on the white page memorized.
He lived, I'm telling you, he wasn't one of these legalistic, crazy people like everybody else. Very simple, quiet man. But when he spoke about God, he sounded like you, to be honest with you. I was just very young, and I didn't get it yet because I was in my teen years. I wasn't really paying attention to I would listen to him, but he was like you. He knew the shadows and everything. He didn't preach a lot or anything like that. He was just a very simple man who shared when it was time to share, and that was it. But he knew I think he memorized the whole Bible. But then he was also a guy too, one of these people.
He did not remind you of Trot, because Trot's gonna share, and he gonna share a lot.
All of it. You're gonna get all the business. Okay, so all right, so just real quick, the Matthew one is, it's the Gerg, right? The Girgashite is the region. It doesn't really break down the region. It might be a place. It looks like towards Palestine, I think, and the other place is the Gad, right? The Gadaseans or whatever. So the words are different. They're even different in the Greek. So the Girgashite is 1086 in the Greek, and the Gadasean is 1046. So they are completely two different words. And this is what I remember about this. The Gad is east of Jordan, and the Girgashite is in a different location. So this is two different locations. The problem is they're so similar, right? And so the fact to me that they're geographically different locations is what makes it hard to believe it's the exact same account or the exact same story. And like I said, there's dozens of these in there, and you have to go down to the place that they're saying they're at, and you have to get both of them and see if it's the same geographical location. Because if it's not, then more than likely, I'm not saying that we can't do like even a deeper study to confirm. There's ways to do that too, but just based on the surface so far. And I remember this one right here, man, because I remember saying to myself, okay, well, one of them for sure is east of Jordan, and I'm not getting that with the other place. That's what I remembered, and it was the Gadaseans and the Girgashites. It's just, they're two different words, and to say that it's the exact same account, it's two different locations. But trust me, when it comes to the debate, because again, there's a bunch of these in here where people are claiming that they're either they're different or they're the same. These get into arguments too. People will argue about this too. It's the same, and the other side, no, it's not. And it's like, oh my Lord. Well, let's just make another denomination because we don't agree on that too. So, what I remember about it is that the geographical location were different. And, it's just a good sign that they were two different accounts. And first of all, Jesus healed a lot of people that had demons. Just remember that. So it's not too hard to believe that there was more accounts with people that had demons, right? That shouldn't be hard to believe. Let's just say we only had two accounts where we can see that Jesus casted out a demon. Let's say the little boy, and let's say this instance. Then I can understand the debate, because you see a boy getting a demon cast out and you see a man. I can understand the argument at the point, right? Because it's like, okay, well, was it one man or was it two men? Okay, well, first of all, he casted out demons a lot. So the whole point and principle of the thing is the Messiah cast out demons. That's the whole point. Hey, what's up?
It's also in Mark chapter 5, and the locations are different.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Which one is that? Is that the Gadarenes? How do you spell
the Gadarenes? Mark chapter 5 is the Gadarenes, and Matthew chapter 8 is Gersenes.
This study Bible that I'm looking at compares the one in Mark 5 to the one in Matthew 8:26, but it doesn't say anything about any other ones.
Yeah, because Luke is the one that was brought up. It was Matthew and Luke.
Let's see. It says the healing. This says the healing of the demonic is recorded in Matthew 8:28 through 34, in shortened form, and in Luke 8:26 through 39.
Yeah. So in Mark, read the geographical location in Mark.
It says, then they came to the other side of the sea, to the region of the Gerasenes, and
okay, hold on. Spell the word for me. The region of what?
G-E-R-A-S.
Hold on. Hold on.
A-S.
A-S.
E-N-E-S.
E like evaporate.
Yep.
Okay. E.
N-E-S.
E-S. Okay, now go to Matthew, because you're saying that they're comparing Mark 5 and Matthew 28? Or
it
Matthew...
Says, this study note here says the healing of the demonic is recorded in Matthew 8, 28 through 34 in shortened form, and also in Luke 8, 26 through 39.
Okay, so are you saying that that's saying all three of them are the same?
That's just what it doesn't really go any deeper than that. It just says Matthew is the shortened form, but it's also in Luke 8, 26.
Yeah, okay, so Matthew, let's see. Hey, there's nothing wrong to have these conversations. The problem is when everybody starts arguing about it like they're children. That's the problem. So, all right, so let me go to the Matthew one real quick.
I'll go to the Luke one.
Oh,
yeah.
They're different.
Okay, hold on. When we say they, we're talking about three accounts. You're going to have to be very specific on what you're claiming is different. Okay.
Mark 5 and Matthew 8.
All right, hold on. Before you say anything, let me go to Matthew 8 real quick before you say anything. All right, I'm almost there. Okay, it's Matthew 8, 20. Okay, so in the King James Version, Matthew 8, 28 is using G-E-R-G. Okay, so here we are with two different words again. Okay, I'm just going to write it down. This is the Gerg. Let's see. I remember doing this. It's been, like I said, 2-3 years, maybe 4, but I remember doing this, and the conclusion was they were different geographical locations. Okay, let me see. Gerg, S-E-N-E-S. Okay, so this is Matthew's account. The one that you spelt to me.
Yeah.
Mac, what account was that? What book?
That was the Mark account.
Okay, that's Mark.
And then the same word is used in Luke. It's the G-E-R-A-S-E-N. That's the same word used in Luke.
Well, it depends on the translation. So where's the one in Luke again? Is it Luke 8? I think it's Luke 8.
It's 8:26 in Luke.
All right, let me go to that real quick. Because what translation are you using?
This is the Holman Christian.
Yeah, look, bro, listen, this is another thing. Listen, when you're doing something like this, use the same translation for all three of them. So if I take your word for it that Luke is the same, but I'm in a different translation, you're doing yourself a disservice. So I'm in the King James Version.
Okay.
I'm going to go to Luke, because listen, it's all about the Greek anyway. So if the word that you have and the word that I have don't lead back to the Greek word, we got a problem. But when you start reading in English, and the newer versions are changing the English word because they're trying to get you to make more sense of what's going on, two different translations during a Bible study can really affect the Bible study, man. I'm telling you, you have people arguing about this stuff and they don't understand the problem is everybody's using different translations. So the translation isn't the problem. It's not understanding that the root of every one of these translations either comes from the Greek or it does not come from the Greek. And there are translations out there that even kind of, take you away from the Greek in a weird way. And it's like, I don't see the point of that. Well, the main point is because they know you speak English and they want to explain something to you in English. Okay, so let me go to Luke 8. I think you said 26.
Yep. Well, then listen to this study note in Luke. It says, the region of the Gerasenes was probably around the town of Gergesea, or this gives a name, Khersa, Karasa, on the eastern coast of the Sea of Galilee. the name is predominantly Gentile region. Wait, the name for this predominantly Gentile region came from the city of Gerasa. So it's that Gerasenes or whatever. It shortened it to Gerasa, but they said it's from the town of, and it's close to the same spelling that you said is in Matthew, which is Gergesa.
Yeah. Okay. So look, in the King James version, okay, I'm going to give you the three areas or the three words or towns it's given us. So this is the King James version. So Mark is Gerasenes, and I'm going to go back and confirm that. Okay, Matthew is Gergesenes, and Luke is Gadarenes. So you got Gad, Gerg, and Gera. Let me go to Mark. Where exactly is Mark's account?
Chapter 5.
Okay, let me go to Mark 5. This stuff seems very like it could be boring and tedious, but I'm telling you, it does help you understand the Bible more. It's not wasting time, man. Okay, it's only people that care, right? Like are gonna dig like this. You know, you have to care. Your heart has to want to do it. So you said Mark 5. Mark 5 what?
Starting in verse 1.
All right, Mark 5, 1. Okay, so Mark 5 is, all right, so in the King James Version, Mark 5 is using the same word as Luke, the Gadarenes, okay? So because you have a different translation, Mac, me and you have different words there. You have Gerasenes, I have Gadarenes in Mark, okay? So I'm gonna erase the one you gave me because now the confusion is coming from that. So let me go to Gad.
I'm gonna go look up the difference real quick between that two online real quick.
Yeah, well, Mark and Luke are using the same word, so it's the same geographical location. So the question at hand was Matthew and Luke. So Mark and Luke, notice that they're using the same geographical location. So now they're in the same region. So Mark and Luke is the same account. So Matthew's is Gergesenes. And because I'm using the King James Version, it's a different word. If it was Gadarenes, Matthew's would say Gadarenes. In the King James, it would say Gadarenes, but it doesn't. But Mark and Luke both say Gadarenes. Matthew's account is Gergesenes, so it's a different area. Now, again, if you start breaking that down further and we start looking at maps and how some of the names changed, you would be able to really pin down, was it the exact same location or not? But as of right now, just based on that, now I'm not going to preach a sermon and say, okay, because they were in two different places, the Spirit of God was in two different, I'm not going to, my salvation is not based on whether these are the same or not, right? So again, there's no need to debate or argue, but clearly we do see a difference in the location. So Mark and Luke are the same. Instance, Matthew's different. So how different, you'd have to break that down, how different it is, but so far we could tell that the region is different already.
Well, it said in this, it said both the area of Gersa and Gadara or whatever were both cities on the east side of the Sea of Galilee. So it could have been somewhere, a place, you know, in the middle of those two, you know what I mean? And some was just calling it one, some just calling it another.
Yeah. Yeah. But I think there was, because there was.
On my footnotes. Sorry.
Yeah. No, go ahead. No, go ahead.
I was going to say all my footnotes say that it's all the same. Like it, I don't know.
It's probably the
like
same
all
region.
My footnotes have the same word. Yeah, it's the same.
region, but it's not the same place.
No, like for instance, the way I'm looking at it is, I'm just going to use Dallas, Texas. Okay, I believe it's all Texas, but one of them's Dallas and one of them's Austin. You get my point? So
right, yeah, exactly.
we miss it when we say, oh, it's just all the same region. Okay, I mean, if I was to pinpoint coordinates on there and say one of them is, XY11049 and the other one is XY0068, that's not the same geographical location. They may be 15 miles apart or 5 miles apart. So you can say, well, it's the same area, but the question is it the same incident? Right. And so the fact that they're using, so watch this. Mark and Luke got it right. They got the same Gadarenes. So now what we're saying is Matthew got the place wrong then, like the name of the place wrong. But again, I get the point. I mean, I get it, but it's just a fun topic, man. Unc, I appreciate you for bringing that up. Some of these things, it got to be looked at, man. It is what it is. No big deal. So that's just food for thought for anyone. When you see something that seems like it could be the same, maybe it's not the same, look at your motive. Like, what's your motive? Are you trying to disprove the Bible and say, hey, these two guys don't agree with themselves? Okay, well, all right. Well, it doesn't seem like you're going to have an edified study because I can guarantee you there's thousands of things to concentrate on that are 100% true. And you can get a lot of meat out of them topics. These kind of things where it's like, hey, are these the same or not the same? Man, it's the same thing as water baptism, Trinity. I mean, they become debates and arguments, and you sit there and lose an opportunity. So is this, but does that mean not to study it? No, man, heck no, man. Go have fun with it. Go study it. Yeah. So
Max sent me a text. He just couldn't read it because he doesn't have two devices. But it says, those who come from pilgrimage or fight, many New Testament manuscripts refer to the country of Gadarenes as Gerasenes rather than Gerasenes. Both Gersa and Gadara were cities of the east of the Sea of Galilee in the river of Jordan.
Yeah, but notice it says cities plural. I mean, they're different. Yeah. So, but like I said,
they were in the same region, though. I guess.
Yeah, they're in the same region. Obviously, look how close the names are: Gergesenes, Gadarenes, Gasacenes, or but they're all.
Way. I live in the city of Bennett in Arapahoe County, but the city of Bennett is technically in Adams County. So if somebody said Adams County, Bennett, Colorado, nobody's gonna fall out of their chair and be like, "Oh my God, how could you make such a mistake?"
Yeah, like for instance, I met a guy. Have y'all? Hey, dude. Oh man, I'm glad I remember this. Have you ever seen the movie Apocalypto?
Oh yeah, I love it. It's one of my favorites.
Okay. So the main actor, his name is Rudy Youngblood. Okay, he's the one that the one guy called
and all that stuff. And you worked out with him. He said you were buff and all that. Yeah, you told us the story already.
Yeah, he said I was swole like whoa. Okay, anyway.
Yeah.
So the area that he lives in. Okay, he lives in a little town called Bell. That's what it's called. The town is called Bell, but the county he lives in is Bell County. In that county, there's a place called Temple. Obviously, there's other towns in Bell County, but his town is called Bell. So if I was to write that something happened in Bell, people are going to be like, okay, does he mean like Bell the town or Bell County the region? Come on, this is not the first time that we have names that are the same name of the region and the county and the area, and it could cause confusion. I think the meat on the plate is what's most important. Jesus casted out demons. That's the most important part here. splitting hairs.
Then you get those ones that will try to split the hairs, though, and they'll say, well, see, it's not infallible because it didn't verbatimly mention the same spots, and it's like, man, that's
but
crazy.
the only people that say that are people that don't have spiritual eyes. They have carnal eyes. So they're focused on how can it be changed carnally. See, a carnal-minded man doesn't have spiritual eyes. See, whenever the Bible was getting copied, like plagiarized by Islamic believers, if they would have had spiritual sight, they would have took Moses' staff away immediately. But they didn't have spiritual eyes. So they changed the carnal story, but the spiritual part you can't change because you would have to have spiritual sight to do so. So how can a carnal-minded man, how can he change something that he cannot see? Can't change it. So the word of God has never been changed. Never. The carnality of the testimonies of the black letters on the white pages, when those things don't 100% add up, it is only the carnal mind, the wisdom of man, that think they outsmarted God, but they become fools to people who spiritually can see, and they become mocked because they have eyes, but they see not. They have ears, they hear not. They have mouths, and they don't speak. They can't walk. They need to pick up their bed and walk, but they can't because neither one of them have the gift of life to help each other walk to begin with, nor see, or hear.
Always in that instance, like what you're saying spiritually, there's always a remnant that is always concealed, that no one can change.
Right. So the word of God, the God-breathed part, will never be changed because it would take someone with spiritual sight to change it. And that would never happen because what kingdom stays strong when it's against itself? So the church that Christ builds is a spiritual one, and you either see it or you don't. If you think you're entering your physical church and it's so pretty on the outside, you are walking into a corruptible building. Be part of the incorruptible, the one not built with hands. Not like the Tower of Babel. The reason it's called the Tower of Babel, when you pay attention to the story, is because it's a physical mountain built by physical hands. And there's a mountain that God sits on. It wasn't built by hands. The position of authority is not something that you physically see. It's a spiritual thing. It always has been, always will be, and only those that have eyes to see are able to praise it. So if you're not born again, you can say all the words you want out of your mouth, but your dried up belly that you have on the inside of you, God don't hear none of those words coming out of your mouth because they're words of death, desolation. He only hears the word. So if you don't have the word inside of you, you can pray 100 times a day if you want to. God don't see none of that. Matter of fact, his spiritual sight doesn't even allow him to see it, period. He only sees life. And if you ain't life, guess what? You ain't glowing on the map. So when he looks at the map, he just sees things glowing around. That's it. Everything else that ain't glowing, there'll be an end of that one day, period. So, now that it's 9:24, let's see. Let's see. Rapid Rodney. God hears as a prayer. Don't matter how it is or how you said, he has all your prayers. If your prayer is not coming from the heart, God don't hear it. He don't see it. Jesus only hears the heart, not people's mouths. Don't forget that. Let's see. Dre, what do you want to talk about? I don't know where Dre went.
He wanted to do Joshua chapter 7.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Hold on, I got a phone call from my wife. I'll be back in just a minute.
All right.
Anybody gets a call by their wife, it's not a minute. Give them time.
Hey, Joshua is the same as Yeshua. Technically, that's Jesus.
That's why they changed their names, allegedly, because
that's what I
people
said the other day. My name should have just been Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. So the word prayer means to meditate. That's what it means. So Rapid Rodney, I don't think I know you, but if you think prayer is falling on your knees and calling out to God, and probably a lot of people in here that don't like that. That's not prayer. The word prayer literally means to meditate. The Bible tells us to meditate on the word both night and day. Yes, if it's evil, it's bad. Okay, good, Rapid Rodney. I'm glad you clarified that. I wasn't sure what you were talking about. Okay, so what part of Joshua 7 was he wanting to read the whole thing or what? I don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. I know it was 7 for sure.
No. Well,
how was everybody's evening last night?
Oh man, dude, where I'm at, shoot, Bubba, these people pop firecrackers on a daily basis. So what do you think they were doing?
The same thing here, man.
Oh man, it was.
Well, we're going buck wild.
Oh yeah, Bubba, it was all over the place.
10:30, 11.
Yeah, a bunch of the places here delayed their fireworks because of rain, so we're gonna get fireworks today too.
Oh, thank you for just bragging to everybody here about your extravaganza moment that you're about to have, 2 a day. How bad was the rain?
It wasn't too bad. I mean, it started, I think, around 11 the night before, like, Monday night, and went all the way until about 4 o'clock in the afternoon. But at about noon, it started to kind of taper off into like a drizzle, so it wasn't too bad. Because I went to a baseball game last night, and my buddy paid for the fireworks show out there, and they gave him a bunch of, nods like, hey, by the way, this fireworks show was paid for by such and such a business. And so he had like 24 tickets or whatever, so we all went out and watched the game and that fireworks show. But the city just canceled theirs until today.
Huh.
Yeah, so it wasn't bad. It turned out to be great. It was like 65 degrees last night. It was perfect.
Nice. Yeah, no, man. Every firecracker show we went to, man, shoot, like 90 degrees, bro. Every one of them. Good thing is though, you can get the sun beating down on you, so it's not too bad. Just a little icky, but well, I guess we can read Joshua 7. Who's volunteering? Nobody? Oh, my Lord.
Bill, I would, but I'm driving.
Boy, Mac got out of that quick. Not it. That's what Mac said. Not it.
He said nose goes.
Not it. Bill, can you read it, bro, or are you busy? I read something that somebody, I can't find. I think it was Tammy that said it. I don't remember how she put it.
Gotta walk my dog now.
What'd you say, Bill?
Yeah, I'll be back. I gotta walk my dog.
Oh man, not it.
I'm back. What happened?
We're waiting on you to read Joshua 7. He's it.
All right.
Dre's it.
Joshua 7 says, but the children of Israel committed a trespass and an accursed thing. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zebedee, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took the accused thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against. Oh man, I should have been recording this. I guess I'll record that.
No, just start it. Start it. Start recording it.
Start it and do it again.
Yeah, Rapid. 100%. Let me read this comment. Rapid Rodney. That's actually a pretty cool name. Rapid Blessings. I didn't mean. My hearing isn't that good, so sorry if I made you mad. Mad? What? What are you talking about? Hey, Rodney, I'm not even in a bad mood, bro. What are you talking about, bro? I don't get my feathers ruffle up like that. If something sounds weird, I just call it out. I think you're taking me calling you out, and I don't mean nothing by it. No big deal. You're good, man. Stay a while. Go get some coffee.
All right, ready?
Yeah.
All right. Joshua chapter 7. It says, but the children of Israel committed a trespass in an accused thing. For Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zebedee, the son of Zerah, of the tribe of Judah, took of the accursed thing, and the anger of the Lord was kindled against the children of Israel. And Joshua sent men from Jericho to Ai, which is besides Bethaven, the east of Bethel, and spake unto them, saying, go up and view the country. And the men went up and viewed Ai, and they returned to Joshua and said unto him, let not all the people go up, but let 2,000 or 3,000 men go up and smite Ai. And make not all the people to labor thither, for they are but few. So there went up thither of the people about 3,000 men, and they fled before the men of Ai. And the men of Ai smote them about 36 36 men, for they chased them from the gate of Shebram and smote them in the going down. Therefore the hearts of the people melted and became like water. And Joshua rent his clothes, fell on the earth upon his face before the ark of the Lord until eventide, and he and the elders of Israel put dust on their heads. And Joshua said, alas, O God, wherefore hast thou all brought this people over Jordan to deliver us into the hand of the Amorites to destroy us? Would to God we have been content and dwelt on the other side of Jordan. O Lord, what shall I say when Israel turneth their backs before their enemies? For the Canaanites and all the inhabitants of the land shall hear of it, and shall environ us around. It says, and cut off our names of the earth. And wilt thou do thy great name? Do with thy great name. Hey, Trot, can you mute real quick, big dog?
Wow, you hear Trot running around?
Oh, yeah, it's a lot of background noise.
My bad.
Oh, no, you're good. And the Lord said unto Joshua, get thee up, wherefore liest thou thus on thy face? Israel has sinned, and they have also transgressed my covenant, which I commanded them. For they have even taken of the accursed thing, and have also stolen, and dissembled also, and they have put even amongst their own stuff. Therefore, the children of Israel could not stand before their enemies, but turned their backs before their enemies, because they were accursed. Neither will I be with you any more, except you destroy the accursed from among you. Up, sanctify the people, and say, sanctify yourselves against tomorrow. For thus saith the Lord God of Israel, there is an accursed thing in the midst of thee, O Israel. Thou cannot stand before thine enemies until ye take away the accursed thing from among you. In the morning, therefore, ye shall be brought according to your tribes, and it shall be that the tribe which the Lord taketh shall come according to the family thereof, and the family which the Lord shall take shall be households, and the households which the Lord shall take shall come by man, and it shall be that he will take with the accursed thing shall be burnt with fire, and all that he has, because he has transgressed the covenant of the Lord, and because he has wrought folly in Israel. So Joshua rose up early in the morning and brought Israel by their tribes, and the tribe of Judah was taken, and he brought the family of Judah, and he took the family of the Zerites, and brought the family of the Zerites man by man, and Zabdi was taken, and he brought his household man by man. Achan, the son of Carmi, the son of Zabdi, the son of Zerah, the tribe of Judah, was taken. And Joshua said unto Achan, my son, give, I pray thee, glory to the Lord God of Israel, and make confession unto him, and tell me now what thou hast done. Hide it not from me. And Achan answered Joshua and said, I indeed have sinned against the Lord God of Israel. Thus and thus have I done. When I saw amongst the spoil of the Babylonian garment and 200 shekels of silver and a wedge of gold of 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them. I took them, and behold, they were hid in the earth in the midst of my tent, and the silver under it. So Joshua sent messengers, and they ran unto the tent, and behold, it was hid in his tent, and the silver under it. And they took them out of the midst of the tent, and brought them to Joshua and unto all the children of Israel, and laid them out before the Lord. And Joshua and all of Israel took Achan the son of Zerah, the silver, the garment, the wedge of gold, his sons, his daughters, and his oxen, and his asses, and his sheep, and his tent, and all that he had, and they brought them unto the valley of Acre. And Joshua said, why hast thou troubled us? The Lord shall trouble thee this day. And all of Israel stoned him with stones, and burnt them with fire. After they had stoned them with stones, they raised over him a great heap of stones unto this day. So the Lord turned from the fierceness of his anger. Wherefore the name of that place is called the Valley of Achor unto this day. That is Joshua chapter 7.
All right, before we jump into anything else, let me make a statement. Y'all know how y'all using the why Christ thou unto me? There was another one just there in that chapter. Why liest thou on thy face?
100%.
Yep. Yep. So, hey, Dre, who brought up Joshua 7? Was that you?
That was me. Yeah, that was me.
Okay. All right. So what about it?
So the one thing there's one part I don't understand, which I wanted to kind of get clarification on. However, the part that really caught my attention when I was going through Joshua was, where is it at? Hold on, I had it highlighted. Joshua 7 to Achan praying to thee. He said, Joshua answered, indeed, I have sinned against the Lord of Israel, 50 shekels. Oh, this is the part right here. So verse 21 was the one that really jumped out at me. Obviously, there's other stuff before, but 21 really jumped out because it's some of the stuff that we've been talking about as far as shadows of Christ and things of that nature. So it says, when I saw amongst the spoils a goodly Babylonish garment and 200 shekels of silver and the wedge of silver 50 shekels weight, then I coveted them and I took them. And behold, I hid them in the earth in the midst of my tent. So, a couple of things here. Number one, it reminded me. It takes me back to Genesis and Eve, right? So it wasn't until it became good to the sight. So when he saw the spoils of Babylonian garments or whatever, it says he coveted them and then he took them. So it was almost like he thought about it. Like, man, I really shouldn't take this. And I think after much convincing of himself by his flesh, he took them and then he hid them in the earth, which we know the earth is like your heart. So when we're talking about,
but what is confirming, what is confirming that it's the heart?
Eden is the heart of God.
Well,
which is
but
the land.
In the story,
the tent.
The tent.
right.
tent.
Well, yes, that was the next part. He's like, in the earth, in the midst of my tent, or in the middle of my tent.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we know that coveting is, bad and all that, but it goes from coveting, and then it talks about the earth, and then it confirms what kind of earth it's talking about, because it says in the tent. And if you don't understand, the tent in the Old Testament is referring to a place that your spirit resides. That's what it refers to. That's why the Holy of Holies is very important. That's why the tabernacle.
I got you. Yep.
Right. So it has to be seen. Our eyes
Old Testament.
Yes, it has to be seen. That's why Jael, when she came out of the tent to quote unquote get the bad man, she brings him into her tent and offers him milk and curds of cheese. And she takes a tent pin in one hand, a hammer in the other, and pierces the temples, and his head's like stuck to the ground. But if you pay attention, it's stuck to the earth. But it all happened inside the tent. It's very important
not
to see.
Go around it. If she got cheese curds in her tent, don't go around that.
So in the Old Testament, right? If she's from Wisconsin, run. So in the Old Testament, our bodies are referred to a lot, I've noticed, as tents, and in the New Testament, we're referred to as trees. The tent isn't necessarily brought up much, but the tree, even back to the miracle of the guy, where he saw men as trees, because technically we are trees now. But the part that got me though, Trot, was I'm trying to wrap my brain around it. Is so he tells him, like, admit it, confess to the Lord. He confesses, he tells the truth, but then he still gets unalived by stoning and fire. That's the part that I can't wrap my brain around. So my is this just like a depiction of, without Christ there is law, and the law equals death?
Hold on a second.
That was the punishment for sin, and Christ bore our punishment. That's the only reason we ain't getting stoned today.
Right, but I guess that's what I was trying to get to, because it was really, when I saw that, I was like, man, at first I was like, oh, he confessed or whatever, and then I was like, oh no, he still gets unalive, confession or not. Like it didn't even matter. But then it brought me back to, that is the law. Then the law, there is no grace, and it goes back to that thing where Jesus says, both Moses brought the law, but I bring grace and truth. So on the other side is the grace and truth. On this side, that is truth, but it's just not grace. That's a matter of fact, basically.
What's funny? In the New Testament, Paul was a builder of tents, building of heart. Coincidence?
Yep. Yeah, no, it's not. Yeah. So, does anybody else have anything to say about it?
I know there's something to verse 24. I'm still kind of studying that out, because he definitely says, he brought the silver, the garment, the wedge of gold, his sons, his daughters, oxen, asses, sheep, tent, and all those things had to be.
Because there's two of everything that's mentioned there, right? You have two golds. Okay, gold represents deity. You have the deity of God. You have deity of the quote unquote God of this world, right? And so, I'll just get straight to a huge a huge part there that is, just so easy to see. But if you pay real close attention, it says, and sure enough, they went and looked and found. And when you hear it, what you actually hear is they found the merchandise. They found the merchandise is what they found, right? So when Lucifer was told, or when it's shown to us, the sin or iniquity that was found in Lucifer, it calls it merchandise that was found in you. And you see the same thing happening here. In the heart of a person, you see a merchandise. That's what you see. Something that was taken that was not theirs. But why would they take it? if they were not going to sell it or somehow gain a profit for themselves.
It's the lust of the flesh, the lust of the eyes, and the pride of life.
Yeah, so it's the heart that was checked, and the heart had treasure hidden there. And you know, first of all, they weren't supposed to have anything that was from the other land, you know, and it correlates with the Bible in a lot of areas. You know, when Sodom and Gomorrah was destroyed, he told them not to turn back. And it says that Lot's wife turned back, and so everybody's like, yeah, they were like 4 miles away, and she turned and looked. That's not carnally, right? Like the real story, right? She turned and looked. I believe she really did turn and look 100%. But spiritually, that's not what's being told to us, what the problem was. Spiritually, that phrase, she turned back, in Hebrew, when you study that in Hebrew, it literally means to think intensely about. That's what it means. To think intensely about. She turned back in her heart. It's not this, she just turned and like, oh, let me look. That's not what God was telling them. God was not just telling them not to look, because Abraham looked at it. So God's not telling them not to look at it with their physical eyes. He's talking about don't turn back in your heart. And she did. She turned back. And so now what we're doing is we're looking at Lot's wife like she got punished different. And it's like, oh, well, she became a pillar of salt and everybody else burned. Like, really? So everybody else burned. So now God's integrity is not perfect. He said, remember, this is the second time the Bible doesn't have to keep giving us the answer. Okay. Eventually you can kind of understand that the flood happened. Does anybody remember? What was the reason that the flood occurred?
The imagination of the man was continuously evil.
Evil continuously. That is the reason they were destroyed. So let me ask you this. Will you think this is any different? The Sodom and Gomorrah story? No. You can look at their behavior. Look at their behavior. All you got to do is read, man. Sodom and Gomorrah, those people were out of their minds. So what does that mean? Again, the Bible don't have to keep telling you the same answer. Their imagination was gone, dude. They were using it for evil purposes continuously. It doesn't have to tell you that. So if everybody in Noah's flood died of water, you're going to tell me that everybody in Sodom and Gomorrah got burnt up, but not Lot's wife, because it says she made a pillar of salt. Then you go study that word salt, and it literally means vapor. So what happened to her? You're going to sit here and tell me that she didn't die like the rest of the people in the city because she wasn't there? Sometimes I just don't feel like people, I understand that you can read the black letters on the white page, but you're not putting it together, man. She burnt up from the inside out, man. That's why she became a vapor. She could have went to China in a plane and she would have burnt up, because what God was destroying was the heart, the imagination, the evil imagination of anyone that thinks like that place. There could have been 10 people that were sprinting away from that place. You mean to tell me that that God just sent one brimstone to them and hit them? He didn't have to destroy people with physical brimstone. That's not what happened. It doesn't say.
Statement real quick too.
Yeah, real quick. Let me say this. Hold on. Let me say this real quick. It doesn't say that a comet came out from the stars and hit Lot's wife and she burnt up. That's not what it says. It says that she became a vapor. She became unalived just like everybody else, the same way. God's integrity is perfect. He didn't unalive her different. She thought intensely about that place, and that's where her fate lied, in that place. She did not have to be geographical in that location to become unalived like the rest of the people that were there. That's what it proves.
Right.
That no matter where you go, it's your imagination that's going to be your issue. Because you could take, like what they say, you could take someone out of the ghetto, but it's not easy to take the ghetto out of the person.
And before you jump in, Mac, just to double down on Trott's statement, which is 100% true, and I'll give the address If you go to Genesis 19:26-28, watch this. I'm going to read it, and you're going to see it. It says, but his wife looked back behind him, and she became a pillar of salt. And Abram got up early in the morning to the place where they stood before the Lord. And he looked towards Sodom and Gomorrah and all the plain, and behold, lo, the smoke of the country went up, and the smoke of the furnace. So if it had something to do with looking back or looking at Sodom and Gomorrah physically, then Abram would have been turned into salt right then and there as well. Or
yeah, and what people will say is, oh, well, yeah, but the destruction was over. No, my friend. Abraham did not look at that place like he missed it. Abraham wasn't in his heart. He wasn't thinking intensely about the place, but Lot's wife was. So her living in that place, I mean, I hate to say it, but it got the best of her, man. She started loving that type of lifestyle in some form or fashion. Something about that place, she enjoyed it. And so because she was married to Lot, she was rescued out of there, but she couldn't let it go. So it's like it wasn't good for her to leave. She didn't want to leave. Also, so when people use this and they say, yeah, that's your sin, man, this ain't got nothing to do with none of that, man. This is not just focused on sin. This is focused on us needing a savior. It's not these things are not supposed to be used to beat the people over the head with the law. That is not what's going on here. What's happening here? Hey, Bill, can you mute your mic real quick? Yeah, what's happening here is people's imagination without Christ goes to shambles. That is the whole purpose of this. The whole purpose that we have a unalive spirit, and our spirit needs to come back alive so we can have an imagination for the Lord. That is what's happening here. It's not just about sin as an action. Oh, well, those people were sinning. First of all, they didn't have, man, listen. What happened in the Garden of Eden, I say this all the time, was such a nasty thing that I think people miss it, man. These people were completely lost. They did not have Christ. Their spirit was unalived. What the Bible is showing us is how everyone would be without a savior. You would just be a complete lunatic, like if there was no other option but to act crazy, period. Okay, that's what's being taught here. Not, and if you sin, and if you, okay, is this not the story of Abraham? Where's the law at this point? There's no law. God didn't judge them because they broke the law. That's not what's going on here. Yeah, what's up?
Well, it's safe to say that everybody that gets destroyed that we see in the Old Testament, it is because there is no good in them, period, point blank.
Period, the end. The Bible makes it very clear. So when you hear Islamic believers or anybody else, atheists, anybody that's like, oh, man, look at this God. That must have been the devil himself. How dare God destroy people? No. No. You're completely missing it again. And I say this to atheists. I say, okay. I said, just play the if game. Some of them will. Some of them won't, but some of them will. I said, let's just play the if game with me, okay? If, and I have to say if like 100 times. I said, if it's true, my friend, that there is a God, like the story is true, if it's true, and Satan unalived us in this way, then it's true that these quote-unquote humans are not the kind of humans that you're talking to today. They're not the same. There's a defect, a serious defect, my friend, with these quote-unquote humans. But you're so used to living on this side of the cross that you think everybody back then was like everybody today. Don't you think for a minute that maybe you could be wrong? And again, I tell this person like 50,000 times, if the Bible is telling the truth, then God is not unaliving humans the way you think. You are completely missing. And I would tell him, I was like, what type of person would you say doesn't deserve to live horrible? He's like a murderer, a person that takes a weapon and just unalives 500 people. I said, brother, do you not know that that's how these people were? whoever had the big stick, they just do whatever they want. Do you not understand? He goes, oh, don't we do that today? And I said, listen, I said, just hear me out. If you, who's not God, comes into agreement that a human should be unalive because of their actions, then you just condemned yourself by saying God was crazy and why is he unaliving all these people? And you just told me out of your own mouth that and again, I'm saying if this is true, I said, if all this is true, God is saying, oh my gosh, all these things need to be unalived. God, the one that created everything, right? He's saying they need to be unalived. If it's true, and you, who was just a man, you're saying, well, there are some people that need to be unalived. So you condemn yourself while you're saying that how dare God kill all these people? But you don't understand what you're talking about. So, him
so would it go back to the wheat
unaliving.
and tares?
Do what?
So would it go back to the wheat and tares that we read in the New Testament throughout the Old Testament?
Well, partially because so the tares is literally representing Satan. That's what the tare is representing. It's representing Satan. So Satan's the one to blame. He was the quote unquote one planted with us. Okay, so so basically when Satan did what he did to Adam and Eve, he held them hostage. So if you can imagine a quote unquote criminal, a bank robber, and he's like, I want to leave this bank. And you're like, bro, you ain't going nowhere. So he grabs someone in there and takes them hostage. And you know darn well that if you shoot, you're going to hit the hostage. So the idea is let them grow together. So whenever the one is strong enough to take their dominion, they can remove themselves away from the one that has them hostage. So our dominion was given back to us through Christ. And now because we know that who we are, because of what Christ did, we're able to remove ourselves from the tare, like mentally, like Christ did it in our heart because our spirit became, but we still had to renew our mind. And now we use our dominion and we don't. That's why in the book of James, it says, resist the devil and he will flee. But the responsibility is yours to resist. He can still hold you hostage if you want him to, and you cannot be saved and all that. Or you can receive salvation, become saved, start understanding who you are and whose you are, and start utilizing that dominion, and you can resist the devil, and he has no more power over you. Now there's no more hostage. You're no longer in a hostage situation. But without Christ unaliving himself, nobody would be able to use the spiritual imagination. It would only be the imagination of carnality, which is the seed of Satan and flesh, right? So, but, oh man, I think somebody's trying to.
Yeah. About Abraham, and when they left, his two sons stood out there. And I was just pondering, would it have her turned around also thinking, man, I left my two sons there? Not only the son-in-laws, but the two sons as well, because a lot of people don't touch that on there. They weren't even at home when the angels came back to get Lot out and his wife and two daughters.
Yeah.
So it was something I was thinking about. Could it have been also that when we come to the Lord, regardless of our children, not to look back because we put him first.
Yeah. Stranger, what is going on, man?
How you doing, brother?
Man, we're doing amazing up in here, bro. What's going on with you?
Sounds like you're doing amazing.
He's like, that's why I came, man. He's like, I came in here so I can be in the amazing water with y'all.
Well, it was a good study, but I had a question about your opinion on a verse regarding Sodom and Gomorrah, where the Lord says it'll be better for Sodom and Gomorrah on that day. I'm sure you know the verse I'm talking
about. Let's go to it. Like, hey, we usually get off at 10 Central Time. It's already 10, but let me go to it.
My bad.
No, you're good, man. Give me the verse real quick. The one that you're talking about.
Let me find it. My bad. It's in Revelations, I believe. It's the letters to the churches. It's right in the beginning of Revelations. I didn't mean to hold. Oh,
no, you're good. Oh, so you're not talking about a direct scripture out of Genesis. You're talking about the aftermath, like when John wrote about it.
Yeah. It's.
Oh man, you're trying to catch me slipping, bro.
No. I was like
taking you to Revelation.
Yeah, man, taking me to Revelation, bro.
My bad.
But I'll look at it real quick. Where's it at? I don't remember where that's at in Revelation for sure.
I believe it's in chapter 1. Let's see. You know what? I'm gonna look at my reference real quick. I didn't. I'm usually not even up at this hour, man. So I didn't know you'd dip out of here at this time.
Yeah, it's so every morning we're from 7:30 to 10 Central Time. So I don't know what time zone you're in, but I always say Central Time because I know people are from different states or even from different countries at that matter. But because we got a guy he comes in at least I see his name in here at least once or twice a week, sometimes more than that. He's from Australia. He's from Australia. So
that's Joel 91.
Huh?
Joel 91.
Yeah, that's who it is. Yeah. Hey, what's the address, stranger?
I'm in Pennsylvania, brother.
Oh no, I'm sorry. My bad. I mean, what part of Revelation? Can you give me the chapter and verse?
Is it Revelation 18, bro?
See, I thought it was. Yeah, I guess it is Revelation 18. I'm totally in the wrong place. I'm sitting here looking like, what's going on? I'm not even in the right stuff, man. I'm tired. I'm sorry. I've been up all night.
Oh, no, you're good.
I just got all excited because, anyways, I think it's Revelation 18 and 16.
16, let's see. Great city. Oh, are you talking about Babylon?
Matthew 10:15 also speaks on a little on that.
Hold on, no, okay. I'm totally off here. My bad. My bad.
The Matthew 10:15.
Could it be in Matthew?
I think it's Revelation 11:18. I think that's what it is.
No. I was thinking about when Jesus said it would be. I was thinking about something else, man. My bad.
Matthew 10:11. He says it's better than. I forgot the exact quote, but I believe it's in Matthew 10:15. When Jesus speaks on it's better for something than Sodom and Gomorrah.
Okay, so we're not in Revelation.
Yeah, it was because they didn't have a sign. It was, they wasn't given anything. They didn't know, and then the people he was talking, they did have signs.
Let me see if I can. Nah, you're good, man. Let me see if I can find it real quick. I might be able to.
Stranger, check out 10:15 in Matthew.
I think it's try. I think the reference that I've only seen is where it says Revelation 11:7 through like 12 or something like that. And it says, and it came and they had finished their testimony, and the beast ascended in the bottomless pit to make war against them, and they shall overcome them and unalive them, and their dead bodies shall lie in the street in the great city of spiritual called Sodom and Egypt, where also our Lord Lucifer was crucified. Our Lord was crucified. Sorry, not Lucifer. Our Lord was crucified. Hundreds of nations, dead bodies. That's the one reference to Sodom. I don't know if that's what.
No, it's Matthew 10:15. Go read Matthew 10:15.
It should be getting more bearable than that day for Sodom and Gomorrah in that city.
Matthew 10:15. All right, let me look. Let me see. That right there shows you, stranger's always in Revelation, bro. He's like, yeah, it's in Revelation. Trust me, Revelation. He always talking about Revelation.
I am too, man.
He's like, it's a Revelation.
I went right to it. I went right to it. I'm thinking I think it's one of the, nah.
Okay, so
looked on my reference. My bad.
Yeah, who was it that was saying it's in Matthew? Matthew what?
10:15.
10:15.
All right, 10:15. Let me see.
Verily I say unto you, it shall be more tolerable. It says, verily I will say unto you, it shall be more tolerable for the land of Sodom and Gomorrah in the day of judgment than for that city.
Yeah, so in context, so this is, he's talking to the 12, just came forward, saying, go not into the way of the, it's talking about the people where they have to shake the dust of their feet off. So he's talking about when you go minister to a place, if you go minister to a place and they accept you not, that's what he's referring to there. He said it'd be worse for them than it was for Sodom and Gomorrah. Woo, excuse me. Yeah, matter of fact, we could talk about that tomorrow, stranger. If you're usually not up at this time, I understand, but man, we could talk about it tomorrow if you want.
Yeah, I'd like to, man.
Yeah, so I'm not sure what time it's going to be for you at 7:30 Central Time, but our live starts
8:30, stranger. 8:30
he's on Eastern.
It would be 8:30, and they usually, they talk a little bit of, him and Dre get into, so by 9 o'clock you'll be good to go, buddy.
Yeah, so basically for the first 30 minutes, me and Dre give each other a hard time about anything we can think of. So far, I'm 24-0, but maybe tomorrow he'll have a better morning. But
he is such a liar, bro. He hasn't won one argument yet.
Either way, 7:30 Central Time. Just all the way to 10, man. So it doesn't matter. Whatever time you hop in, we'll go over it. No big deal. And I'm sure we'll have fun with it too. I'll figure out a way how to make fun of Dre, utilizing that in some form or fashion. I was hoping somebody brought up the flood today because I definitely was gonna talk about Dre.
Really?
But
really,
Dre's like, really? My child was with me. You need to calm down, sir. I was like, yeah, you better use that because if she wasn't with you, Bubba, it would have been on. But yeah. But anyway, hey man, like always. It's been amazing. Love you guys. See y'all in the morning. If anybody got something to say, go ahead and say it because apparently I hang up on everybody before it's.
He sure does. God bless everybody.
I just want to say,
God bless.
I just want to say, you're 24-0. Jesse's 0 for 3. 3 standing for the Trinity. God bless you all. Love y'all.
For the Trinity. All right, man. See y'all in the morning.
I'm worshiping 3 gods, Bill.
Oh.
You ain't going to see no 3 gods in heaven.
Yo.
No, 4. 4 when you had the Father.